should be enjoyable.
I hope that you enjoyed your first time.
That's the first time.
And so now we're gonna talk about our first times. You know, our first times doing the do. Having our little intercourses and things. Cause we all old and we all mature and we all up there and all that kind of stuff. And I think even
Well, when it comes to my first time, I think my first time was the Sega Genesis because it had that restart button.
okay. See now you're too much. You're doing too much. Okay, I'm gonna ask the first question to start off with. Recalling your first time. At the moment, right now, do you regret who you had your first time with and how that all went down?
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. We don't want to scare anybody.
Oh my God.
I didn't regret who, but I wish we took some lessons first because we never really did like the full-on penetration until like probably like a few months like further down the relationship, where basically we were all at a friend's house or whatever, and she let us go into her bathroom and no lube, no condom, nothing.
Oh God!
Went in there and it hurt so bad, and I was hurt for like a good 2 weeks. So I don't regret the person, but it was just I just wish we could have did it better.
My first times. Okay.
Do you regret?
No,
do you regret
no, no. The one first I'm gonna talk about is the first who actually made me curious. You know who you are playing college football in Iowa State. You know who you are playing. You know who you are playing football in College State and Iowa State. I wish you all the well and all the best. You know who you are.
I like how you put him out there like that.
I didn't say his name.
Close enough.
But then there was the real first time.
The real first time.
The first time where
Do you regret it or who the person was?
I don't regret what happened. Because after you relax, it feels really good. But I don't regret who it was. I don't regret what happened, but maybe who it was because I only knew the person for a good minute, a minute.
Yeah,
My first time was planned out. It wasn't because there was feelings there. It was because I was comfortable with the person.
So Matt always does
and he
it
was
right.
experienced, and he knew what he was doing, and it worked. It worked out well. I mean, it worked out well because I learned something. It hurt, but I mean, I wouldn't have changed how it went down the road or how we did it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm so bright. My first time, overall, I don't regret it. If I could change some circumstances around it, I would. Next, if I could go back and repeat it, that would definitely make it with somebody who, you know, felt the same way about me that I did about them at the time, and
that would be nice.
And you know, actually make it somebody that I knew I was going to be with. Because overall, my first time was kind of like a hit and run, and that was it. And I had feelings for the person, and they did not for me, and yeah, it was some fucked up things, some messed up things.
My first time, I don't regret. I wish that me and the person were still in contact with each other right now. But the first time was excellent, wonderful.
What about your first time?
My government out there. And you ain't even pronounce it right. My first time was painful, I'll say, because and the person, because I was doing this little sneaking down the PG kind of thing at the time, and when I met the person, because you was talking online, and when I met the person was a little bit of a queen, and it kind of caught me off guard at first. Then I still went along with it, and then I realized, you know, this ain't what I wanted to do. And I don't regret the person. He's a nice guy. Him and his friends was bowling in the basement. It was an interesting time.
Oh, that's an interesting after-sex activity.
Care to share?
I'm not getting into that story right now. But I don't regret it. He's a nice person. I feel bad for running away though.
How old were you?
I was probably 18.
We went in with if I could change one thing, it probably would be the fact that he did catch feelings after. and that wasn't the plan. You know,
You were that good.
I was clear on what it was. You know what I mean? But as we were friends, we stayed friends, we were close, we hung out a lot, and I guess he thought it was going somewhere that I wasn't seeing it going that way. He got really pissed off because I had started dating somebody, which I thought was weird because he had set me up with the person, but when he saw it got serious, he got pissed. And we don't talk anymore because of it.
Oh.
I'm sorry?
How old were you when you're first?
I was too old. I was 19.
I was 18, going on 19.
You were how old?
18 going on 19.
What about you?
I was 16.
Madam? How old were you when you got your box banged out?
It's called cherry pop.
Cherry pop, box banged out, you're getting something banged or popped.
Was it younger than 16?
Yes. I lost my virginity the summer after 9th grade. I was 14 because I cooked too well, apparently.
Oh, wow.
Next caption. Freak.
Can I ask for
No.
It's really, really funny. It's called What's Your Number? Has everyone seen it? Yeah. It's interesting. And it's probably different for men than it is for guys, obviously. But are you proud of your number?
I'm proud of it.
Like of people?
Oh, number of people?
No, I'm
Oh.
I would never put my number out
I'm
there.
proud of my number.
You know, the world to know, but I'm proud of my number.
I had my way. I was still getting graduated from there.
I'm not proud of my number.
Shit happens. That's all you can say.
Yeah, see, shit happens. And shit's gotta happen. And that's why I'm not proud of my number.
I can honestly say,
I'll come with a celebration.
I can honestly say, though I wish I could be a virgin again, I'm proud of my number. My number, and I'll say it, is about 11. And I'll say it. Because there are people.
Have a seat.
There are people out here, some formerly of the gang, some still of the gang maybe, I don't know, that have numbers in much higher double digits. And maybe even triple digits. So I'm proud of my number. So I don't care.
Okay, my problem is now I can't
deny it.
I can't count my numbers, and the reason I can't count my numbers is because there's people who I actually forgot, who I don't even remember their names.
That's a
And
very high number thing.
I just remember situations, and that's why.
Here, you take the camera back. You're looking very awkward.
Yes, that's why I'm not like.
No,
you know?
I can't talk because even to this very day, a random number will come up and I'm like, do I know you? Yeah. I know you.
You don't have to really remember the name, and which I did. Just gotta remember
Carry the 5.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, okay, I did something with this person. That's one, and then on from there, so on and so on.
I mean, if you do it right, you're supposed to be able to remember who you know.
I mean, every sexual encounter isn't going to be like one to remember. So I mean, it's just like
Yeah, but not to remember their names and.
I don't remember.
Truthfully, and it's certain ones I guess you wouldn't want to count. But
Okay, here's my question: when you're asking about your numbers and stuff, do you only count full-on penetration, or do you count like?
Well, according to the movies,
Blowjobs,
if it's
handjobs.
more than this much, then it's penetration.
If it's all sex is penetration, though, technically, so.
Hold on. In that case, I consider myself like this. My close friends know this, that I consider my body to be a college. In order for you to see the
teach people.
I teach people. In order,
Community college?
your mama.
Community college.
Like a university.
No, stop how you were here.
Everybody can get into a community college. Just let them know.
My friends are like tampons, stuck up cunts. Anyway, the front of me is like Princeton. The back is Harvard. You got to be on point to get into Harvard.
So this is why we don't talk all the time.
Well, apparently, because you put your business out there, so I don't feel bad saying this. But there must be a lot of good scholarly men in Baltimore because everyone's been to Harvard. You said.
Now I didn't start calling it Harvard until I graduated from college because now the requirement is at least to get a one-night stand with me. In order for me to at least look at you, you have to have at least 60 credits or a college degree. Real talk.
how often do you get an oral presentation at Princeton?
Last time I got an oral presentation at Princeton, it was on the hippopotamus scholarship. And
Hippo.
He did it in the hippo bathroom.
no,
Girl.
actually, wasn't actually ew.
And there's
There's no
no
doors.
doors, but it's never
There's
quiet
doors
in that
now?
bathroom. Yeah, it was.
You don't even know what's
last time
men
I
or
was there.
women.
I never did it in the hippo bathroom.
But like,
I
you
hope
can't even
not.
shit in peace in the hippo. Like, if it was
I
an
would've walked in the
emergency.
hippo.
I was saying if it was an emergency and like
I know.
sometimes you might have to use a public bathroom. Like
That's
it's not even
better
a
than
thought
this
in the
club in
hippo. So I
Virginia.
can't believe you
There's
got
a club in
comfortable enough
Virginia, and it
to
doesn't
get
ha- and it has
an
no
oral presentation
door.
at principal.
So
I
when
can't
you
stand
walk
that.
in-
Like when you go into a pub and there's
Like,
like,
how you doing?
Central doesn't have doors. I don't think.
This girl Central don't know.
I don't even go in them bathrooms. I'm scared to go
The
in there.
one by the pool don't even have a
That's crazy
men
to
or
me.
women.
But I'd be scared to like while I'm sitting there, getting my oral presentation, people like peeping through the cracks. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
you
they
washing your
watching.
hands, you can like look in the mirror and like see through like the stall. Like,
really
like,
can.
that's almost any bathroom.
So I never got an oral presentation inside a hippo. I got an oral presentation afterwards, but I never got an oral presentation inside.
Okay, so I'm gonna move on to my next question, and this is mostly for the gay folks.
She's about that.
For your first time, was your position on your first time the same as your position is now?
Yes.
Yes. Without getting into what it is now or then.
Well,
Position.
Yeah, top or bottom.
No,
But
no,
not
no,
the-
no, wait a second. No, wait a second.
Yours.
Wait a second.
Yours
Wait a
changed.
second. Wait a second. For her, it could be passive or aggressive.
Okay, that changes depending on which gender I'm dealing with. So
I mean, like for the.
I'm feminine with my men and dominant with my women. So that changes.
Yeah. Okay.
well, it was for him the same person. It was top and bottom. So I was versatile then. I'm versatile now. So.
Okay.
No.
No, meaning it did not change.
Wait a second.
not
Yeah,
the
it
same?
changed.
It changed. Okay,
It
so
changed.
your first time was different than what you call claim yourself as now.
Yep.
It changed.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. It changed. That's not what I wanted it to be.
I think as time went on, though, I've got curious about the other.
I'm not sure what I am
sexual.
now, so I can't answer this question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not changed.
It's a Doug bunt behind us in the forest.
Yeah. Somebody lost their phone.
That guy's up there.
Oh, that's you. He looking for him. Okay, so and Kenshi kind of explained his whether or not it was good or not, because it was painful for you, Kenshi.
Well, it was painful because we switched. It was painful for the both of us. But
That would
as
be weird
much,
for me. I think that. That'd be weird for me to switch in the middle of the okay, my
no,
turn.
like
You
we didn't.
You think that?
I think it would feel weird for me.
We didn't
okay.
switch in the middle. What happened was we did it one time. I was the bottom, and then probably like a few minutes later, we went back into the French because she let us use her room too. And what kind of bothered me was when I topped him, he was crying so hard because he couldn't do it, and then we stopped for like 10, 15 minutes, and we're just like, "Are you serious?"
You had a baby.
So when he did it to me, I was just like, just you might as well just keep going. You might as well just don't stop. But then when it was his turn,
That's why you was in
he
pain.
complained.
I will say.
You needed to get trying to teach you about that.
Before-
you can't stop. You just keep.
Yeah, that's the
What?
What's up the flow? I
would've-
was up the whole flow.
I'd've stopped.
But I will say that before I had my first sexual experience, when I used to, think about doing with a guy, what it would be like, I always thought that guys would switch up. One do, one pull out, go. Everybody gets a turn pretty much. But then, of course, when I had my first sexual encounter, I realized, well, certain people don't like one position and don't like the other position. And I will say my first time was painful, but it was like the pain only lasted for a short time. Yeah.
Mine was painful enough that I actually stopped.
Yeah, I teared up a little bit, but I didn't stop.
I bit the pillow.
I
Okay,
committed
you gotta
to it.
bite the pillow.
I did it for
Hello, Dr. Comfort.
I actually wasn't in pain my first time. My first time, it was just like, I don't know, I guess the person knew they was doing so well that it just kind of like, they kind of ushered me.
They helped you through along.
Yeah, and it was just like,
I tried for one person.
I think I made love the first time.
Oh, wow.
I lost my virginity. I really did.
That changes it too.
But me and the person, like, not like, you don't speak these things.
That makes a difference.
Both of our phones run at the same time.
Now for me, the person that I was messing around with before, we would just mess around and just do little things here and there. Now that's Mr. Iowa State. Yeah. I'm calling him Mr. Iowa State. I'm not giving him a name. Mr. Iowa
He
State.
watch our videos.
Yeah, Mr. Iowa State.
You with sex in college. What's up with that?
Because you get the most sex in college.
He's putting them under his belt. I had a Sigma. I had a Gamma.
I don't
had a
agree.
Delta. You put them all in this belt.
I don't have a Delta. That's a female.
Look, I'm just saying. I don't know what I'm saying.
Damn you for saying ew. I heard that. And I went to Morgan State, which is one of the highest STD rates in Baltimore. I did not have sex in college. I had a boyfriend.
Now, hold on.
I'm proud to say I've never once been pregnant.
I'm
waiting.
I'm proud of y'all for not being pregnant. Hold on.
So, another question. Just a random question for guys. If guys could get pregnant, how many kids?
We've talked about this
I
before.
know. How many kids do you think you would have now? If guys could get pregnant.
We didn't have that conversation.
We didn't have that conversation.
If guys could get pregnant, how many kids would you have now?
From me or by me?
From and by.
I ain't gonna front. Just like a lot of these other little dumb black girls out here, I'd have probably had a kid by
I'd have a kid or
17,
two, but with one
18.
person.
I wouldn't even have
Matt would have been married by now.
I'd have family by now.
I wasn't having sex yet, but I know if I could have kids, I probably would have had a child by the time I was 18.
Because Matt, that kid that you would have had would have kept that man that you had dead. I'm telling you.
I ain't gonna front.
It probably would have.
It probably would have.
I
Probably would have.
He wants that. That's what he
Yeah,
wants.
I know.
I ain't gonna front, but if I had kids, I'd probably be on Wick.
That's a damn shame too.
Wick is like Wick is the stuff is the food about
Oh,
kids.
I don't know, I'm gonna say that because I think if I had a child earlier in life, it probably would have motivated me to probably do more for the child.
Yeah.
It would have motivated me to do more, but I'll still be on Wick. You don't think you
I
don't?
probably would have went to college when I first got out of high school.
I wouldn't.
And imagine how our bodies would look now.
Not that there's anything wrong with it, though. Not saying that there's anything wrong with it.
Ow. He already pregnant 3 months.
God.
Spread it out, James.
God.
You're the only one putting on some pounds.
Do you think that's what? Because James brought up a good thing. Do you think that's why a lot of times gay relationships don't last as long as people would like them to?
Because of kids?
Because they can't have
Because they
kids.
can't have kids.
And you know, kids sometimes can be the connection of why a straight couple stay together.
No, I wouldn't say that. I would just think it depends on like
You can't
for
go
real.
to
Just
the
like
club with a kid.
two people like
But
sometimes they get tired of each other. Most of the time when you get together with somebody, like
I know a lot of people that break up because
kind of sort of like to me like a relationship, a new relationship has maybe like a 10-year span on it, maybe if that, because you know in that amount of time that you getting to know each other, you dating and all that stuff, you're still getting to know each other, like. So
The reason I ask is because you know how like relationships have steps they go through and phases of just like anybody's life does. That's a phase that's not there. And that, like in a straight relationship, like I've seen, like with my sisters or whatever, that like they have a kid and it breathes new life into their relationship. You know what I mean? And it makes me wonder if maybe that is something that is a hindrance in a gay relationship.
But I think, well, you could be right. But I'm just thinking like as far as like people in their lifestyles, like I'm the type of person where I like to live like a kind of like an exuberant lifestyle. So if I meet somebody that likes to travel as much as I do, likes to eat as much as I do, or enjoy the arts or whatever, I think that we will always be able to find something that can keep us satisfied eventually.
Without the baby.
Yeah.
Because that's something that like obviously we can't provide to our men that a woman can with the man that she's with. Like a child, like a baby. Men want that. Men want to have little kids. Like, you know what I mean?
So, I mean, we talked about our first times and everything. Does anybody have anything else they want to add before I wrap this topic up about their first time?
If you're a virgin, wait.
You think?
awesome advice.
Wait, yes. We all in the reason waiting.
I say if you're a virgin, I say make sure you have fun. You don't necessarily have to wait, but I say make sure you have fun and you enjoy what you're doing and you like the person that you're doing it with and everything is good.
Also,
And be careful.
thank you.
Be careful.
Be careful.
Wrap up.
Do y'all
Yeah,
think?
but like, there's too many kids. There's kids out there that sex has gotten so twisted in what it is that just put no appreciation. Like, they don't treat it with respect. Not respect. I don't know what I'm looking for. They just treat it like it's nothing. Oh, it's just something I'm gonna do. It's a hobby. It's fun. We're gonna do it.
It's like cake.
Which, yeah, have fun with it, but don't just go give it up to anybody just because you're bored.
Well, I mean, you can't really say that neither because for some people, like having sex might be their outlet, their cigarette or their basketball or whatever. So I mean, like just gotta make sure that you protect yourself and the person that you're having sex with, like, if you want to be that into sex.
I think before we go into having our first times, if we are virgins, we should at least do some research first so that we can have the best time that we can, and make sure that we pick the person who we want to have our first time with to be somebody who we want to have our first time with. So we can sit down here 7 or 8 or 10 years later and we can talk about our first time and we can say, you know what, I don't regret that.
Because there are a lot of people that do regret it, their first times.
And that's the worst thing to say. You know, I gave up my virginity to somebody who, you know, I should never had.
Know, or I don't care about.
I will say, the first guy I ever kissed, I severely regret. I mean, like, huh?
From a mental standpoint.
Okay,
Some people just kissing it. Some people like for kissing it's like a real deep thing. So.
Well, yeah, because for me, before this incident, I had never had like real contact with the guy before. It was like, you know, I just kind of like guys when I was 13, but from 13 to 19, you know, it was just like watching porn and saying, oh, I wonder what that's like. I wonder what that's like. So when I finally had a guy to actually come up and kiss me, I'm like, oh, this is what it feels like to kiss a guy. It's like kissing a girl, it's lips, but you know, it's more to it than just like kissing a girl. You know, it's like, well, I finally kissed a guy for the first time. So for the first guy that laid one on me, I wish I could go back in time and erase that whole factor. Honestly,
you know,
the emotional mental attachment.
I had my first gay experience at 17, but I didn't kiss my first guy till I was 19.
What? Yeah, because sometimes when you're just sexing. Kissing is a passionate thing. You just sexing. It's just like
if I'm kissing you, like my
the first person I kissed was the first person.
Like, that's why I don't really kiss people that I'm just having sex with.
I kind of wanted to, because that's getting me to another topic, and I want to ask this question, but this don't have nothing to do with first times. I want to know, for those who have one night stands. I mean, okay, everybody here has had one night stands and stuff, right? Just so we on the same page here. What on a one night stand is off limits, if anything? Because I know some people don't kiss on one night stands, and I'm just curious.
I don't understand, because I don't think kissing should, well, to some people it's an emotional thing, but I don't care.
I mean, you never really necessarily know when you're gonna have a one night stand for real, so you can't really like say like what you will and won't do, like because it becomes a one night stand when you know you don't call the person the next day or the person don't answer or whatever. Now you're talking about just like a random hookup, and when it comes to like randomly just having just a random hookup, like I know I'm not either person asking, I'm not kissing them.
What's the difference between one night stand?
They not fucking me.
What's the difference between one night? I mean, I consider them both the same thing.
I mean,
but you don't know it's gonna be a one night stand until that's the days after or the next day or whatever.
Different because like
y'all might be doing it again.
Yeah, right, because a hookup is like you go on A for A and you get a piece of meat, get what you want, and you dip. Then a one night stand is like, oh well, yeah, me and my homeboy, I know from the club, we got drunk and we had it in. Then 2 days later, we got drunk and did it again.
Then it's not a one.
I can't say that I've had a hookup, but I've never had a one night stand. I'd say.
I've had a one night stand. It was like
I don't think I do hookups.
It was like a 1 day stand.
No.
Like, normally, like you know that something's a one night stand. Like if you out of town or something like that, and like you said, you in the club or something, and you and this guy go back to your hotel or something like that. You know that's gonna be a one night stand because you know the next day you going back to Baltimore or wherever you live at or whatever. But normally, like here, like normally in the city when people hook up, normally they hooking up again the couple nights later or a couple weeks, months, whenever, whoever feeling. Whatever, so I don't even think one night stand is like, I don't even think they really, well, I don't know, I can't say they don't exist. They exist for some people they do, some people they don't.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta put something